Thank you for being with us on the Feast of St. Mark. Our top story tonight, former President Donald Trump sat inside of a Manhattan courtroom facing state criminal charges. While in D.C., his lawyers were before the U.S. Supreme Court arguing presidential immunity. The justices will decide whether the former president can be prosecuted for his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Capitol Hill correspondent Erik Rosales joins us outside the nation's highest court. Erik.
Good evening, Tracy. This is a monumental case which tests the boundaries of presidential power. It will likely be the last case the justices will hear this term, but will have far-reaching effects on the former president's 3 other criminal cases and the November 2024 presidential elections. Since yesterday afternoon, armed with sleeping bags and chairs, people started lining up to ensure a spot inside the U.S. Supreme Court for the oral arguments. By sunrise, others gathered quickly.
Nobody should be immune to crime. Nobody. Not the president, not me, nobody.
I came here because America can do 10 times better, 10x better than what we have now. If we get rid of Biden and we put in the Trump's policies like we have before, America can do 10x better.
The former president's attorney arguing Trump cannot be prosecuted for his efforts to overturn the 2020 election due to presidents having absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for any official acts he took as president. Trump claims his acts that day were official conduct as he tried to ensure election integrity. His legal team also argues that all presidents must have that immunity, otherwise no leader can function in office and would always be looking over their shoulder, worried by criminal prosecution from political enemies.
You have an indictment in this case that goes right to the heartland of the president's powers, that alleges a whole series of official acts and tries to tie them together by saying, well, there's a private aim or a private purpose in that case, and that's a situation which, of course, could be alleged in virtually any indictment.
The Trump team also argued the Supreme Court and other courts cannot review the official acts of a president based on separation of powers principle. For special counsel Jack Smith's office, all this is simple. Presidents are not above the law, and if they commit crimes, they must be prosecuted.
His novel theory would immunize former presidents for criminal liability for bribery, treason, sedition, murder, and here conspiring to use fraud to overturn the results of an election and perpetuate himself in power. Such presidential immunity has no foundation in the Constitution.
The timing here is critical. When the court decides its case, it could determine if the former president stands trial or is immune. The court typically issues its final opinions at the end of June, just 4 months before the 2024 presidential election. Outside the U.S. Supreme Court, Erik Rosales, EWTN News Nightly.